The presentation we've got now is looking at digital financing, and we're looking at today, and we're looking stepping forward to the future of digital financing. And it's my pleasure to invite to the stage Mina Louka. And Mina is the CEO of B2BinPay and also Eqwire UK. So Mina will come to the stage, talk us about digital financing, and introduce us more about his companies. Mina, over to you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. It's my privilege to be here in front of the elite of the market. So thank you for having me, and I hope you would be a bit patient on me. Okay, so my name is Mina Louka. I represent a group of companies called B2 Broker, and we are a group of companies globally. We work in liquidity, technology, venture capital, payment processing, and technology across the globe. We have different licenses in different world, so I'll take you through quickly. So if we talk about our technology business, we've got our core platform, which is a trader room, and we use it as an infrastructure for all our businesses, and we build on it white label solutions for brokers, for merchants, for FIs in different jurisdictions. We also have B2 Core IB, and we do B2 Copy for money management platforms. We have aggregators for liquidity, and we have MT4, MT5. We provide all the white label solutions via simple APIs. Just in a nutshell, we do the heavy lifting for anyone who wants to invest in launching their brokerage business. We also do liquidity. So we provide, we get the aggregation of multiple liquidity spots. So we help the businesses not only to launch their exchanges, but also providing the liquidity spots with very competitive rates in the market. B2BX also is our digital asset exchanges based on another license in Europe, in Estonia particularly. And we initially, our founders, they thought in 2014, before this whole thing about crypto, or at the very beginning of start, to have an ecosystem. So we think about the payment processing, the liquidity, the technology needed. So we build some sort of ecosystem to help any investor to launch their own business for brokerage. I don't want to bother you more than this, but moving into the topic of the day, and this is what we do for payments. So payments, and since I mentioned ecosystem, there are two sides of the word: the traditional payments, which we're all used to. Personally, I come for the core banking background for over 20 years in the core banking. So fintech is kind of the new trends. So payment processing with the normal traditional financing and traditional payment, and you have the crypto or the digital asset side. We also provide all the services needed for merchants and enterprises. I'll take you through this quickly. If we talk about difference between the fiat and crypto, which normally the normal money, the normal cash, if you see the volumes here from 2016 over 2021, the numbers are in $1 billion. You see the increase from $100,000 billion to $131,000, and I'm sure you would all agree with me that this is as a result of inflation. So it's not new users are coming to use cash or the normal fiat or the normal payments, because that's what we all used to. But if you look at the other side, you would see the crypto side. Crypto side, if you look at from 2016, 94 billion increased till 2021, and especially for the last 2 years during the pandemic, crypto and digital asset became the new thing. 14 trillion. And all the major players in the market started to build their own businesses and their own units globally. the likes of JP Morgan, Citibank, HSBC, all the traditional banks, they started to get into the game. And this is another analysis if you look at specific digital asset. And if you could look with me here in BTC was the initial trend from 2014. It was almost the 100% of all the size of the market capitalization was mostly BTC. But then that started to decrease along the years till 2022. And you could see at that time, 86% of the market capitalization was in BTC. Not the case anymore. Now, 42% are between BTC and Ethereum. Massive reduction, but at the same time, the market capitalization has increased because stablecoin came into play, and stablecoin is the key for the new, what we call DeFi, or the digital financing, or how we use it as a place where you have multiple use cases. And if I take this as an example and compare between the major coins and stable coins and fiat, you will see that the decentralization is key for major coins because they're not just asset classes, you use them for different use. Stable coin with difference, and we will go there in a minute. Bear with me. You will have centralized, decentralized, regulated, and unregulated, and we'll talk about this comparison in the next slides. And of course, you have the traditional fiat. Is it fast and secure? Major coins are, stable coins are, fiat are. However, there are some downsides. Chargeback, no chargeback for crypto asset or digital assets, whether for major coins or stable coins. Fiat we do, and it takes a bit of long time. And I'm sure for brokerage businesses, FX businesses, and so on, you struggle with the chargeback extended turnaround time. The rolling reserve, you don't need rolling reserve for major coins and stable coins, but in fiat you do. It's definitely lower cost for both sides, unlike the fiat. Easy account opening, of course. Due diligence is a must. However, it's less hassle when it comes to digital assets for now. And I'll keep repeating for now. Transparency, unlike some people that they don't understand much of digital assets, crypto leaves a trace in every transaction, and you can trace it forever. It's not something that you can hide. It's not a tool for money laundering. It's actually very transparent. Fiat, yes, loads of controls, loads of businesses has to build compliance teams and big risk and control offices to look after the transaction monitoring, transaction screening, reviews of controls, internal controls, external controls, etc. Fast settlement, major coins and stable coins are. Fiat with a difference in terms of the payment schemes. It differs from a scheme to another. Risk of fraud card usage doesn't apply to digital assets. It does apply to fiat. Instant payout, yes, for digital assets. Yes, for fiat, yes and no. It depends on the scheme as well. Volatility, of course, it is volatile. Stablecoin isn't because it's pegged to either commodities, either to currency, and we'll see this in a minute, and we'll talk about the use. Fiat, of course, volatility applies, inflation applies, and so on. Is it regulated? The major coins, not everywhere, not really. Stable coins, some they are, some they are not. Fiat, yes and no. Depends on the jurisdiction. Transaction limits, no limits for major coins, no limits for stable coins, but of course, from bank to another, from financial institution to another, there are restrictions, of course, and it depends on residency, risk appetite for each financial institution, and so on. Let's talk about the stable coins. Stable coins, you have the centralized regulated, and the most famous is USDC. You have the centralized unregulated, most famous USDT, and the decentralized unregulated, the most famous is DAI. The backing mechanism differs from one to another. In the centralized regulated, is pegged against currency, specifically the US dollar, and it's held by tier one banks. And of course, when it comes to tier one banks, they're subject to regulations, regular audits, frequent audits, and of course, it has to be real USD minted against the dollar, the currency. Custody, of course, it's with the tier one banks, and the blockchain is centralized token over a decentralized blockchain. If you can see the market cap here, and this is for covering USDC, Binance USDC, USD, PAX, GUSD. And this is how the market cap has increased dramatically from 2020 to 2021 onward. Centralized unregulated, as you could see, presumably, and we're talking here about Tether. This is as we said before, you would have pros and cons for each. So for the speculation for the last year, 2 years, the audit for Tether wasn't something that everybody appreciated. There was no clear audit on what happens with the client funds, and that's why now they're pushed to produce more clarity on safeguarding and how they use client funds, or how is it the custody there. So funds are presumably held with top-tier banks, no regular audits. Users have to trust the issuer, and this is one of the downsides. However, is strong, is very, very much used. Banks or trusts are the custodians, and it's a centralized token over a decentralized blockchain. As you could see, the market cap is over $80.4 billion. Then we talk about the decentralized, most famously, DAI. And there are lots of use of DAI. Usually, stable coins are backed by other assets. It could be commodities, it could be currencies. And here, no central party, no centralization. It's just as is staked on the wallet. It's a decentralized token on decentralized blockchain. Market cap is a bit less, but as you can see, drastically increased throughout the last couple of years to 9.8 billion. A quick snapshot on how stablecoin is helping in addressing the volatility in the market. So it's more of the use case. You could see that stablecoins could be pegged to commodities, fiat currencies, and other crypto assets. Use cases by financial intermediaries, brokers. They could do financial engineering, open accounts, DeFi staking. Banks providing payments, and as we mentioned earlier, major banks are now getting into the game, and they're using stable coins for faster settlement of payments and so on. Custody collaterals for lending or borrowing, and managing collaterals. Non-financial businesses, we could do this, we can use it as a payment gateway processing, exchanges, same for payments and trading, and end users, it could be used instead of fiat, faster investment to the crypto, instead of going to the bank, selling your own crypto, going to your bank account, paying fees here in the exchange, paying fees to the bank, and then when you transfer it back, you pay another fee and another fee to the exchange. If you just redeem it to stablecoin or switch it to stablecoin, then easily and faster for you to reinvest. Some more figures here. If you could see, Tether, of course, is the highest $79.1 billion of market cap, daily usage 46.8 of trading. I don't want to, conscious of my time, I don't want to bother you more about the numbers and the figures. Our presentation will be on the website, and I will show you a QR code for whoever would like to, have this presentation at your end. Please feel free, it will be our privilege. DeFi is the future of digital financing that we all believe in. So if you look at the comparison between TradFi and DeFi, just a small diagram, everything centralization here, you have to go to whether central bank or a financial institution or a bank, and you have few challenges, unlike the decentralized financing. Address the first thing, data privacy. So data privacy, you have, it is whether it is regulated. We all have the GDPR in Europe, in UK. However, still we hear about data leakage, personal data leaked here and there, or hacked by someone. So still have vulnerability of your personal data. When it comes to DeFi, based on digital assets, it's a limited personal data disclosure, and it's based on your wallet. You have access to it and nobody else. Accessibility, it's a bit difficult for the unbanked and underbanked. They find it even challenging. And I'm sure many of you in the room tried to open bank account and failed for a reason or another. Whether for banking, as a corporate banking, for your UBOs, for risk appetite reasons, for anything. Trust. The trust is in the executive management and not in the system. Unlike the DeFi, the trust in the system, in the cryptography, it's in the system, it's not in Mina or someone else. Clearing settlement, payments can be delayed. The settlement always can be delayed, and for DeFi is almost real time. Market operation, it's limited, it's working days, working hours only. The DeFi, round the clock, 24/7, 365 days. If you could see here the DeFi business model, you could do lending, you could do borrowing, you could do derivatives, you could do exchanges, you could do assets, insurance. The lending and borrowing, imagine a mortgage. It's based on the smart contract. You don't have to have an escrow account, you don't have to have a lengthy process. That will reduce the turnaround time, reduce the cost, reduce the number of people involved. Insurance. Imagine a farmer is putting an insurance forward against the weather. Flooding coming, and then they lose the work they've done along the year or for the season. He doesn't have to prove that the weather was -20 and there was floods and they lost all the efforts for the year. The smart contract will affect the insurance policy without the need of any of this. So enough talking about the DeFi. Allow me for the next 2 minutes just to tell you what we do for one of our part of the business, crypto payment processing, which is part of the future of digital financing. What we do is merchant solution, what we call a merchant solution. We allow merchants, whether brokerage companies, EMIs, PSPs, whatever business could be, and it depends on the regulations, depends on their licenses, and I'll put a caveat that this is a licensed business outside of the UK for now, in Europe. So what we do is allow these businesses to accept payments via crypto. Imagine you're holding a portfolio of BTC and you prefer stable coins because you're a bit of risk averse. Automatically, this is converted to your preferred instrument or coin, and whenever you would like to redeem it to Fiat, to transfer it out, this is what we do. We have all the integration of the blockchains and up to 54 coins, stable coins, and liquid tokens supported within the merchant solution. If you would like to receive another solution, is the enterprise solution. We provide, if you're a new investor, you would like to have your own exchange, you would like to keep, you accept crypto, and we change it for you for your own crypto and keep it hodls. We do cold and warm hodling. And we have up to 87 coins, stable coins, and liquid tokens. For more information, please do visit us in our booth in booth number 7. Myself and my dear colleagues coming from different places in the globe would love to have you with us, and we'll answer any questions. I'm conscious of time because I've been told I'm running out of time. This is the QR. If you check it, this is the QR for the presentation. Please feel free to check it out. I'll leave it for a second or so, if Mark will allow me.
Please, can I ask you to give thanks to Mina for that great presentation?
Thank you. This is our YouTube channel. This is our Telegram. If you would like to reach out to us, and thank you from representing our group, and thank you for having me and for your patience.